I'm just a guy who loves Disney that has way too much time on his hands. If anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I'm here to rate, review, and describe all of your favorite things from the magical world of Disney. I'm File91e and welcome to my Disney News and Reviews. Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Disney News and Reviews. I'm File91e. You guys are lucky this week because I wasn't actually going to make a video, but I feel a little bit better this week. I've been really sick, a nasty cold, and just kept me out of work for a day. It was just a terrible, terrible week for that. But I also had some fun during the weekend. Some friends came over, really good time there. So thanks to them for that. It's spring forward today at daylight savings time, so unfortunately we lose an hour. We lost it technically last night, so today is technically an hour ahead than what it really is. I guess I don't know how that all works, but just figured I'd remind everybody to set your clocks up 1 hour, so it's not whatever it is, it's 1 hour after that now. Whatever. Also, thanks to everybody who has donated to my 5K funding. I'm trying to get as much donations as I can for my 5K. It supports the Cool Kids campaign. It's kids with cancer, and makes their quality of life a little bit better while they're going through this terrible ordeal, and them and their families. So if you have any extra cash that you could actually donate to this cause, please do. The link is in the description box. You'll see it's just 5K. The minimum donation is $5. That's just kind of how they set it up. I can't go any lower than that. I know money's tight for some people, but it really is for a good campaign. The money doesn't go to me; it goes to them. It's their charity thing, and But thanks to everybody who already has donated. You are awesome, and just thanks. I really appreciate it, and it is for a great cause, and y'all are awesome. So yeah, I just wanted to remind you all of that. That's it for me this week. Let's get right to the news. Spring is in the air in Walt Disney World. Like always, Epcot's Flower and Garden Festival has opened up, and it is offering so much more than in past years. From the awesome topiaries to the beautiful flower displays, now to food and drink kiosks and such. This year's Flower and Garden Festival is looking to be the best one yet. If you would like to learn more about the festival, I provided links in the description section so that you can read more about it. There's a bunch of links down there, downloadable guide maps, everything. It's really cool. The festival will be running from now until May 19th, so if you're going to be headed down to Epcot anywhere from now until May 19th, check it out. Really awesome stuff. Really cool things. Also freshly opened in Epcot in the American Pavilion is the all-new exhibit Rediscovering America, Family Treasures from the Kinsey Collection. This exhibit features an extensive collection of rare art, documents, books, and artifacts collected by philanthropists Bernard and Shirley Kinsey. The exhibit is themed to hope, belief, courage, imagination, and heritage, and includes narration from celebrities such as Whoopi Goldberg, Diane Sawyer, and Kerry Washington, among others, so that's really cool. Along with traditional touchscreens that provide more information, the exhibit also features a number of lanterns that, when activated by the guest, come alive to tell more of the story, which is actually really cool. For more information and some video of those lanterns, follow the link below. Very neat stuff. The newly redesigned guide maps and times guides are now available in the parks throughout the Walt Disney World Resort. Inspired by the online versions found on the My Disney Experience website and apps, the new maps are a complete redesign with a number of new features. If you remember that Kodak was removed as a sponsor, from Disney World, and they were all over the maps. Now it's completely redesigned. There's some new features. Maps are now to scale, which should help with judging relative distances between attractions. They never used to be. Maps are now orientated north to south, which is a big difference between on the Epcot map and the Hollywood Studios map. You'll see that they're kind of flipped, the proper way, north and south. The entrance is actually on top now rather than on the bottom, so it is an actual map now. Disney's Animal Kingdom map now features animal icons to show animal locations instead of just a little paw, It is a the actual like silhouette of the actual animal, which is really cool. And most merchandise locations are now included. Everybody wanted to know where all the merchandise locations were, and instead of having to actually wander around, you actually can now go to your own merchandise location. And the new maps are great. And as always, if anybody is down there right now, pick me up some of those new maps. I'm a map guy, and those are free, and the postage is really cheap. Thanks. Yeah. Anyway, just to remind people, Splash Mountain took an extended time for refurbishment these past 3 months. There hasn't been much word on what, if anything, is changing. Normally, they don't take that that much time for Splash Mountain to be refurbished. It's usually a month in January, but it's been 3. Most people are now saying that the folks at Disney took more time just to really give Splash Mountain the TLC it deserves. Really going through and really cleaning and updating it, making it brighter, more colorful. But others are saying that there could be interactive elements being added. Now, none of that is anywhere near to being confirmed or any which way, shape, or form. It's just rumors. So who knows what's going to happen? Disney can do it, and like anything they want to with this. Once I know, you'll know. So I just wanted to remind you all that it is still closed and will remain closed until March 20th. It's only a couple more weeks for Splash Mountain to be closed. So just reminding you guys. And in some rehab and refurbishment news, Walt Disney's Carousel Progress at the Magic Kingdom is scheduled to be closing for a short refurbishment in May, closing from May 13th to May 15th, reopening on May 16th. And Prince Charming Regal Carousel in Magic Kingdom's Fantasyland is scheduled to be closing for a refurbishment from May 28th to June 10th, reopening on June 11th. So if you're going down there during those times, remember all of that. So awesome stuff. So yeah, that's it for the news this week. Let's get right to the reviews. Alright guys, the first thing I want to review today is another pavilion. It's the Morocco Pavilion, located in the World Showcase between Japan and France. Now, I love pavilions, all the pavilions in Epcot, and Morocco is actually one of my hidden gems there. I love actually going and walking through the Morocco Pavilion. So let me give you some brief history on this. This was the first expansion pavilion to be added to the World Showcase, and this opened on September 7th of 1984, 2 years after Epcot actually opened up. This is the only pavilion in which the country's government actually aided in the design. Corporations sponsor all the other pavilions, but the Morocco Pavilion is actually sponsored by the government of Morocco, and they actually sent people over to help design it. However, due to Islamic religious beliefs on the content of the art, the mosaics contain no representations of people. Apparently, I'm not sure the mosaics in that actual culture actually represent things. It's not just to look pretty, but for here in Epcot, to avoid any any conflict or anything like that, they're just there to look pretty, and they do look really great. It's really awesome stuff. Now what this is, what they were trying to do with the Morocco Pavilion is actually have excellent insight into the culture and lifestyle of the Moroccan people. You can do that by going to the Gallery of Arts and History they have in there. There's also the Fes House, which shows a typical Moroccan style household, which is really nice. Very cool things there. There are no real big attractions in the Morocco Pavilion. It's more of a walkthrough thing, but the theming is absolutely awesome. To add even more realism, they added North African plants, including citrus trees, date palms, and olive trees, and all the fountains are there to add to the experience. I mean, they really did a great job. The detail on this is incredible. They, guys, they really made this look awesome. I haven't been to Morocco, but I feel I have been, because I actually went to there. I think it's the closest I'll ever get to Morocco. So, being a poor kid from Baltimore. Now there are dining, areas in the Morocco Pavilion. This doesn't have a big main attraction, but there are good dining and shopping experiences. The main dining experience in the Morocco Pavilion is the restaurant Marrakesh. They serve various types of Moroccan cuisine, including harira soup. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce words. I'm terrible at this. It's terrible. Couscous and various lamb dishes and shish kebab, that sort of thing. They have all that over there. And from what I've heard from people who have actually went to the restaurant Marrakesh, it was actually awesome. I've never been there before, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. So check it out if you're into like Moroccan food, North African food, that sort of thing. There's also the Tangerine Cafe. It's pretty much, they serve basic things, food, drink. They also serve hummus. I love hummus. That's one of my favorite things. I love hummus. Now for shopping, they have the Tangier Traders, the Brass Bazaar, the Outdoor Bazaar. There's a bunch of other really cool things when you go down the Moroccan streets. There, you can just pop your head into different places and you can see all kinds of cool different things. There's all kinds of merchandise, even including the belly dance get-ups. I mean, that's a big thing. So if you ever want to buy your belly dance, costume thing, you can get it there. Now this, now like I said, again, this does not have an attraction, but there are entertainment offerings. There's every night there's a belly dancing exposition show sort of thing. Like there's they're lady dancing, belly dancing to music. There's also a show called, or a band called Moroccan, which is it's a rock and roll music set to Arabian rhythms. I mean, very cool stuff there. You gotta check your times guide to see if they're playing and what times they're playing. But all in all, that's really, really cool. They actually, the idea is the pavilion itself is the attraction rather than just having to have a boat ride in there, so that you guys can, go to the place. I always walk through the Morocco Pavilion just because I love the way it looks. The feel is unlike any of the other pavilions. I mean, it feels like you're on dirt roads and different things like that, and it's it's very foreign, very cool, and I love how they did it. Now there are characters that you can see in the Morocco Pavilion. Obviously, you're going to see Aladdin, Princess Jasmine, and the genie. They are all there. Pretty much every day. Check your times guides for that. And now, a bit of funny trivia is that you can actually see from a certain perspective on the World Showcase, right on the Morocco Pavilion, as you see the Morocco Pavilion tower thing. You look to the left of it, you can actually see the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. Now, when they were building Tower of Terror, they knew, they noticed that it was going to cause that sort of a problem, so they kind of designed the Tower of Terror in a certain angle so that it actually kind of fits in with the whole landscape of everything, so it's not too much of a problem. But it is pretty funny to be able to look at that one. If you look across the World Showcase Lagoon, you can see the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror in the Morocco Pavilion, or at least it seems like it is. But yeah, that's really cool. So the Morocco Pavilion is one of my all-time favorite sleeper, pavilion hits. I love walking through it. It's one of those ones I definitely hit each and every single time. I think I've walked through this more times than I'm going to the China Pavilion, or a lot of the other ones. Or even France. I haven't really gone to France. I always like to go to the Morocco Pavilion just because it looks so different and it gives you that different feel. Definitely, I think that's because of the theming and it just actually feels authentic. So that's really cool. So what am I going to give the Morocco Pavilion in the World Showcase at Epcot? I give all the pavilions 3 stars because they're things that you can go in if you want to, but if you don't want to, don't worry, they'll be there next time. But I definitely recommend that you go to this one if you actually have the time to go into the pavilions. Check all that out. Go down and in and out of the stores and whatnot and all the shops. And you'll see a lot of really cool different things. The theming in this place is absolutely outstanding. From the sounds, the sights, it's great. It's almost, I would imagine it's almost like actually going to Morocco, which is cool. So yeah, the Morocco Pavilion and the World Showcase, 3 stars. Check it out. Alright guys, the next thing I want to review today is actually an extinct attraction, but it was it was requested of me by a viewer. So I was like, okay, I'll actually do this. I'm running out of rides to review, and I haven't really read about about this for a while, so let's just do it. It's Here Come the Muppets. This is an extinct attraction, and this opened on May 25th in 1990 at Disney's Hollywood Studios, or was known as MGM then. This is located where the Voyage of the Little Mermaid is now located. Voyage of the Little Mermaid did replace this back in '91. That movie had just come out, and they were looking for a good place to do a show, and obviously this was the show for it. Now, the history of this show is pretty interesting, because when Disney made this show, they made the show literally right after Jim Henson Studios merged with Disney. They were like, okay, this is supposed to be the first of many attractions that were going to feature the Muppets. And actually, this was meant to tide over, I guess, until the Muppet Vision 3D was being built. So that was actually really cool. And what's even more interesting is that this opened 9 days after Jim Henson died, which is kind of sad. But the actual show itself is it's actually pretty basic. Again, this was meant to tide people over until Muppet Vision 3D opened up. You went in line, and there was a pre-show featuring Ralph, and he was just entertaining you while all the show was going on. And once the doors opened, you went in and you sat down. Now this featured walk-around versions of the Muppets. It was basically people in costumes, and this was different because the Muppets, obviously you're not used to seeing a 6-foot-tall Kermit, or a 4-foot-tall Kermit, or even a 1-foot-tall Kermit. You're interested, it doesn't normally happen. So Kermit the Frog's there, Fozzie Bear, Miss Piggy, all your favorite Muppets are there. The Electric Mayhem Band is there, which was awesome. And basically, the show is is just like almost like every other Muppet show. Kermit is on stage trying to get ready for the show. The show starts. Oh my God, we're not ready. They video phone Miss Piggy, who's obviously not ready, and when she realizes that the show's starting, obviously she wanted to get things going, so she starts coming in. They are they actually have Lily Tomlin there on a video screen. That was really cool. She makes a lot of really funny jokes. And what's even greater, one of the best parts of the show is, in order to get Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem Band set up, they get on the monorail, and the monorail actually crashes through the back of the stage, and they come out and everything gets set up, and the show actually begins. And this is just a song and dance show where they sing some songs that were relevant to the time. You got Make 'Em Laugh, which was originally from Singing in the Rain. Personality, which was originally by Lloyd Price. Being Green was, it's not easy being green, that sort of thing. The Heart of Rock and Roll from Huey Lewis, come on now. And Shout was originally by the Isley Brothers. They did a couple of those songs, and just to try to make everybody sing and dance and have a good time and see the Muppets. But that's it. That was pretty much the show. It was only again, it was only meant to tide you over until Muppet Vision 3D actually started. But it was actually a very entertaining show. But it wasn't one of those quick ones that you just obviously you knew Disney didn't care about. They wanted to make sure it was awesome. So it actually was a very good, worthy tide over sort of attraction. But once Muppet Vision 3D came out, bam, everything went. I was out the window, and that was so awesome. And I love Muppet Vision 3D. Now what's funny is, if you do want to see remnants of Here Comes the Muppets, the Electric Mayhem Muppets are actually on display again in Soundstage 1 in the Soundstage 1 shop at the exit of Muppet Vision. So if you want to see remnants of Here Comes the Muppets, you can actually see that. As far as I know, they're still there. So that's really cool. But yeah, Here Comes the Muppets. There's actually video on YouTube, and you can actually I provided the link in the description box. It's about 15 minutes long. So if you want to really watch what Here Comes the Muppets was all about, watch that. It's obviously fan made, but it's it was a really cool show. I don't remember going on this when I was a kid, but it was highly plausible that I did, because I think I went down to Disney World right at that time, but I might have went down before it opened, so I'm not quite sure. But this ran until September 2nd of 1991. It was only in production for a year, and then it was replaced by Voyage of the Little Mermaid and Muppet Vision 3D. It actually overlapped with the opening of Muppet Vision 3D, so there were two Muppet attractions at Disney at the same time. And then I think there was one other Muppet attraction that ran after this, but it didn't. It's another extinct attraction. It's not there anymore. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, I can't remember what it is. But yeah, so watch that video, you know, if you really want to see it. So what am I going to give Here Comes the Muppets? Look, I can understand why this was, you know, eliminated, but it wasn't actually, you know, it was actually, you know, a pretty good show. But still, I have to give this 3 stars. It's not anything overtly spectacular. I did like the fact that the monorail crashed through the back. You know, I'm a big monorail geek. I love that. I didn't quite like the fact that, you know, it wasn't the actual Muppets. It was people in, you know, Muppet costumes. I didn't like that. For me, the Muppets, you know, you gotta have the, the strings on the arms and all that. To me, that's more Muppety than, you know, people in costumes. But whatever, you know, it works that way. But I definitely like Muppet Vision 3D a lot more than this. But Here Comes the Muppets was a worthy attraction, you know, to tide you over until, you know, Muppet Vision 3D opens. So yeah, Here Comes the Muppets, the extinct attraction that was at Disney's MGM Studios, 3 stars. I'm sure a lot of other people disagree, but I definitely wanted to bring your attention to it because, you know, if you're a Muppet fan, check out the video because you might actually like this one. Very cool stuff. So, Here Comes the Muppets, 3 stars. Check it out. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it's not the most engaging show ever. I'm sick. Come on now. You gotta give me props for even, you know, putting on a show. I mean, I'm sick and terrible. I sound horrible. I look terrible. My nose is peeling. Oh my God. I'm just so ready for my nose to stop producing mucus. Jesus. Anywho, remember again to spring forward. Your clocks need to be sprung forward. Also, if you are, you know, please, if you are so inclined, please donate for my 5K, you know, effort here. I am going to get back on the training horse next week. I couldn't train this week, obviously, because I was sick, but I'm definitely going to be training next week for the what is it? For the for the 5K. I'll be back on that horse. But yeah, I'm really ready for that. But yeah, if anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I want people to go down to Disney World and enjoy their time, have a great time. A couple of friends of mine actually just signed up to go to Disney World in October. I'm so jealous, but it's a great time to go in October. You got the Food and Wine Festival and the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties. Very awesome stuff. But yeah, if you are going down to Disney World, be sure to go to allers.net, touringplans.com, www.magic.com for our latest and greatest Disney news. WaltDisneyWorld.com is good too. They have all the straight from the horse's mouth stuff. They have all kinds of information there. The new My Disney Experience stuff. It's great. Download the apps on your phone. And yeah, hopefully I will see you all next week for another Disney news and reviews. I might not actually do a show next week because I'll be busy with St. Patrick's Day stuff and all that goodness. So there might not be a show next week. If there is, you'll obviously see it. But if not, I'll see you guys the week after for another Disney news and reviews. Bye, guys.